Hey, this is Scott from the Record Selector. Haven't done this in a few weeks, so figured I'd give you a rundown of some of the better additions to the record collection. I buy a few dozen records every week for resale as well as for my own personal collection. And I usually get some really good stuff. I have a pretty good budget for decent records, but I do a lot of thrifting, and if you know what to buy when you go to a record store even, you can come away with some really great stuff if you know what qualifies. So I have a thing for bootlegs, and I picked up this Bob Dylan Tough Songs. This one came out, I think, let me see, when did this one come out? 1979. This one was released as a I don't know if I think it's a bootleg. It's on Phoenix Records. There you go. And this is the Royal Albert Hall concerts, where audience members scream Judas and they about kill them on stage, and the band goes electric. Dylan went electric. So sides A and B, it's a double album, are Royal Albert Hall. Sides B and C, or C and D, are studio recordings and outtakes done in Los Angeles. A lot of B-sides and some alternate takes to, like, Buick 6, If You Gotta Go, Go Now, She Belongs to Me, Love -0, No Limit. Alternate takes. It's a really good one. I got this one at Half Price Books. Very good price. I think it was under $30. So I had to pick that one up. Big Bob Dylan fan. Then I found at Goodwill, for like new Goodwill prices, like $2.50 something, 2 cents a record, Tesla, Great Radio Controversy. This one is, both of these are already in rotation. Picked them up last week, so they're already in rotation at therecordselector.com. Then today I picked up the New York Rock and Roll Ensemble, Reflections. This is kind of weird. It's kind of Baroque pop, classical type, classic rock, classic rock, I guess you might call it. These guys were Juilliard music students, recorded in the late 60s, and it has that super hippie kind of, it's weird. So I'll put a little bit of that up there on the Record Selector soon. Then I got Nantucket. I'm pretty sure I already have this, but just wanted to be sure, because this was a Casey classic. That early 80s rock and roll. They had a big hit on here, Heartbreaker, which is a very catchy tune. And I'm thinking about putting together a show that's all focused on my middle school era, say 1980 to 84. The music that I remember from those days. So it's going to be stuff like this, and like REO Speedwagon, and Manfred Mann, Chance. What is this? Chance. Yes. This is a great record. It has For You on it, which is another fantastic Bruce Springsteen cover from Manfred Mann's Earth Band. And this album is just good through and through. It has kind of a, I don't know, Manfred Mann, really great artist. It's got some fantastic keyboards on it. It's almost like electronica in a way. It's that weird era of classic rock where they were just moving into the 80s and just incorporating a weird 80s sound into it. And just, this is kind of an eerie and macabre record to me, because it just was a weird time in my life, early adolescence, and a lot of strange things were happening. So then I got Mongrel from Bob Seger System. This is some good hard-biting classic rock, hard rock, acid rock. It's not your mama's Bob Seger. So definitely going to put this one up in the mix at the Record Selector, and probably going to bring you something from this possibly in the next Record Selector Live, episode 47. Pardon me. I don't usually speak to people, so my speaking voice it kind of goes. Then I got Terence Trent D'Arby. Yes, I'm laughing, because this was big in the 80s. Terence Trent D'Arby, Wishing Well. I remember he was one of these guys that said he's going to be bigger than Elvis, bigger than the Beatles. He was like the new Prince. self-appointed new prince of the 80s. And I don't know, he probably, rang me up at 7-Eleven today. I'm not sure. I shouldn't say that about the guy. Who knows what he does. But he was not quite the superstar he thought he was going to be. And but nevertheless, it's not a bad 80s sound. So I'll probably put a little bit of that up there anyway. The ladies might like it. I don't know. And then I got Play Don't Worry from Mick Ronson, one of my favorite guitar players. Of course, played with David Bowie. And this is such a good record. I bought this record years ago in San Francisco with a ton of others. I've talked about this before. I constantly bitch about this on my show because I got all these fantastic records from Rasputin and oh God, what's the other huge record store out in San Francisco? It escapes me. Anyway, it's ginormous. What's in My Bag is a great YouTube series that comes from this record store. I can't even think. This is how my brain works over 50. I can remember What's in My Bag, which you need to see. Go to YouTube right now after you're done with this. Look up What's in My Bag, and you'll find artists at this record store that just will not come to me, but they just follow them through the record store and they pick out stuff that inspires them, stuff that got them where they were, and et cetera, et cetera. Good way to learn about what real rock stars listen to. And a lot of them probably should be listening to Mick Ronson because this is really good. Angel Number 9 is probably my favorite song on this one. Definitely going to bring this to you on a Record Selector, and I have some of this playing right now. Could be right now as we speak on the recordselector.com. Then I got Traffic, Mr. Fantasy. I thought I had this one, but I didn't. I actually got this one at the Chelsea Flea Market last year, and got it back to the hotel, and this is Cattail. Anyway, got it back to the hotel, had the wrong record in it. So now I finally have the right record in here, and so good. Early Traffic, Mr. Fantasy. So this one is also, I think I might have the whole thing up on the Record Selector right now. So hello, Gracie, how are you? Then I got The Searchers, Needles and Pins. That song's going to stick with you. Kind of a British invasion type sound. I think this was 1964 on this one. And some good early rock and roll. Love it. Got that one playing on the Record Selector right now. Then I found Big Audio Dynamite, number 10 Upping Street. This is their second record. Big Audio Dynamite, of course, from the breakup of The Clash. Mick Ronson, not Mick Taylor. Mick somebody. I can't even think of his name. Anyway, this guy from The Clash started Big Audio Dynamite, and this is it's got such a great 80s alternative sound to it. And then I got The Pursuit of Happiness. You might remember this one. I'm an Adult Now, big MTV hit back probably 1988, something like that. My friends and I used to sing it, but we would say, I'm on a drugs now. So anyway, I probably won't play that. It's really kind of annoying, but I did put it up on the internet for you to listen to on the recordselector.com. Then I'm so happy with this one. Picked this one up today for $50 at Vintage Vinyl, John Prine. At the other end, December 1975. This is a major album for any John Prine fan. Not an album, it's a tour de force. John Prine acoustic set, 1975, in the prime of, prime right here. So made in Germany. Don't know too much about this one, but I got this one open box for $50. And when I Googled that, it was a great deal, so I definitely picked it up. I kind of hemmed it on. That's a lot of money for me to spend on a set of records, but I think this was limited edition. I think there's 1,500 copies of this made or something. Anyway, it's very limited. I'll never be selling it because I'm a huge John Prine fan, so anything new like this I pretty much have to get. Wasn't even aware of this one. I signed up for Old Boy Records mailing list, but I never was notified for that one. Then I got this awesome Ghoul music from Frankie Stein and his Ghouls. This is 60s surf music, garage rock instrumentals for Halloween, and it's as good as it looks. Sometimes these crazy covers from the 60s are really terrible, but you buy them for the covers. But this one, I bought it for the music as well because it's really good surf instrumental stuff. And so I'll probably have this one in rotation on the Record Selector at all times. Then I got West, Bruce, and Lang. So Leslie West, Jack Bruce, and Corky Lang on drums. Leslie West on guitar, of course. Jack Bruce from Cream on bass. And I'm not real familiar with it, but I'm familiar with these guys, and so I'm sure that it's going to be fantastic. And I'll be recording this one shortly, and we'll get it up on recordselector.com and possibly a live broadcast sometime in the future. Then I got Harvey Mandel. Harvey Mandel, The Snake. This is some kind of weird, kind of proggy, kind of just weird jazzy guitar playing. Harvey Mandel, very accomplished session player, played with Rolling Stones. Actually, did lead guitar on Memory Motel, which I've played on the Record Selector in the past, and briefly played with the Stones. I think after Mick Taylor left, and I played with a lot of other people. Canned Heat, most famously, I guess he was Canned Heat guitar player, and we love our Canned Heat at the Record Selector. So glad to have that one in the collection. Then I got Mothers of Invention, Freak Out, double album. This one's pretty rough, so I got a pretty good deal on it. A lot of seam splits there, but I will clean this up, use acid-free bookbinders tape on this. Little magic marker on, and it's going to clean up really nice. Put it in a nice plastic sleeve, and the vinyl on these is really good. So it was definitely worth picking up. So on Verve, Mothers, good vinyl. I'm not a huge Mothers of Invention, Frank Zappa fan, but this one of those that kind of need in the collection. So now don't have it, now I do. So I think it was $19.99 at Half Price Books, which is a very good deal on this, considering I know why they price it that way because of the seam splits, but I can fix all that and make it look good as new. Then I got the Musical Youth, Pass the Ducci on the left-hand side. That's an earwig that'll stick with you all day long, and not in a really bad way. I like this. Not familiar with any of the other things on here, but we all know that song. So I'm going to record this, and probably on a future all 80s broadcast I'm kind of thinking about putting together, this would definitely be a part of it. So getting down to the last one here, Head, Hands, and Feet. Vinyl, the cover, obviously pretty rough. Vinyl is great, and I paid $14.99 at Euclid Records, one of my favorite little record stores in Webster Groves, Missouri. And Head, Hands, and Feet, if you like the band, if you like that early roots rock, you gotta love Head, Hands, and Feet. If you never heard of them, go out and buy it. I've played Head, Hands, and Feet a number of times on the Record Selector, and there's always going to be something in rotation on the recordselector.com. This is a double album. This was probably their first record. Not real familiar, but being as it's self-titled, I would assume. They only put out, I don't know, 2 or 3 records, maybe three records. Not really I got to brush up on my history with that. I should know it as often as I play them on Record Selector. But anyway, that's it. So I'm going to try to get another Record Selector on for you next month. And in the meantime, if you like this kind of music, definitely tune in to the recordselector.com right there. And you're going to hear all of that and more. The widest variety of music on vinyl anywhere out there. So I just realized my microphone has been all the way over here this entire time, so you might not have heard any of this, but I'll amplify it. We'll figure it out. Anyway, okay, tuning out.